where would you say your style is rooted? It's you've sort of ploughed your own furrow very forcibly, but
I think it's just out of the scene, out of the whole scene, just out of my own history of working in dance bands in America and jobs and listening to jazz, and it comes from all sorts of directions and every kind of music that I've been gotten into, classical music, and from classical music to blues to loud jazz and soft jazz, and, whatever, society bands, anything, and it all kind of comes together. The roots are more in, I suppose, in the music that I grew up in, as far as the specific influences, but other than that, I think it's just the abstract challenge of playing according to sort of an improvising process, or whatever you want to call it, that you learn to play by, and that's the thing. You have to sort of adapt the style to this process, and it's not like composing, where if I were to compose at any time, I might write in an altogether different area of music than that in which I play. But in order to improvise, you sort of gather a certain melodic feeling which unifies itself, and a certain harmonic feeling, etc. It all unifies into something which you can think with in an improvising way. So that just comes through your own history, I guess, and it's sort of why I can't really jump out into what might be called the avant-garde or the free jazz or whatever, not that I couldn't play effectively in it. I think after doing it for a while, because I've touched on it here and there for a short time, but just that it's not the next fundamental step, for me. The way my playing has been unified, the next step isn't there. I could arrive there possibly, but it isn't, the next thing now. And to just jump out into it, for me, feels like an affectation when I'm doing it. I feel like I'm affecting something, not that I'm really doing, but that I'm approximating something, or I don't know how to put it exactly.
But did you consciously develop the way you use your left hand? It isn't a heavy bass the way a lot of pianists use. It's very close to the right hand.
Well, I was very analytical. I mean, every note I play, I have a very precise principle and theoretical reason, for. But of course, that doesn't direct the musical thinking. It only clarifies it so that I know which buttons to push when I want to do a certain thing. But I've been very specific and precise and analytical and conscious of taking everything apart and understanding it as completely as I can and as clearly as I can. And then as it has developed, very gradually, from being more plodding and obvious, and fundamental, and probably it has gotten in its own way more sophisticated, and more subtle within that area. But I was very conscious about everything I did.
Yeah, but as if the left hand and the right hand are sort of moving in the same direction at the same time.
It's all guided by a basic structural thought and a basic form. Usually when I play, there's some basic structural outline, whether it be a song form or blues form, or perhaps just an outline over which to play, but it's a structural outline. And that's the thing that dominates everything and unifies everything now. And I learned to play off of that and get into it deeply enough so that, you can, it could maybe sound like you're doing more than one or two structural things at a time, but it's still all coming out of one inner unified structural thought.
But the melodic quality in your playing suggests that that probably in your private moments you listen to a lot of romantic music. Would
Could
that be
be.
so?
Could be. I love good romantic music, but to me, all music is romantic. I don't think, to me that's the basic quality of music, is that it's romantic. Bach is, it's so romantic to me that it's ridiculous. And so I don't think of it strictly that way, as drawing from any one particular. That might be my, maybe my more identifiable characteristic. People seem to emphasize my so-called lyrical or romantic side, but I don't think of it that way. In fact, we play a lot of variety of material, and as far as my jazz playing goes, I think of it mainly based on rhythmical impetus, and it's the rhythmical structure which dominates and gives motivation to the melodic structure and the lines and all of that. But it might be basically some sort of, I don't know, I would say it's more like some sort of music to me is basically some sort of a spiritual feeling, or you could call it romantic. To me it has a spiritual quality. All good music, all music I like to listen to basically has some kind of a quality like that.
What do you listen to?
Well, I love all good music, like any great classical music, contemporary Bartok, and I don't know. I just sort of either, it's a yay or nay thing. Sort of listen to a little bit of everything, and some things I really get a strong positive response to, and some things not. But as I say, I'm really looking forward to, in a couple of years, of getting off and re-evaluating myself and in relationship to other music and my own music, and digging into both. And this I haven't done much in the past 6-7 years because I've been constantly traveling and touring and working, and I would like to look forward to a period like that again.